Well, welcome everyone to the 181st, 181st weekly live stream.
We're growing.
Yeah.
We didn't do the darts announcer thing last time.
The what?
The 180.
Woo party!
We should have done that, but now it's too late.
It's too late. It's already gone.
We'll do the next one.
The next 180?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 360.
360.
Whew.
We'll get there.
We're gonna be what?
The whole stream will just be practice drawing circles.
Guys, circles.
We'll be like 3.5 seasons past where we are. Wow.
Gosh.
Alright, so today I got Alley Claw.
Hello.
There's a Fluffy's eye.
Hi.
And there's a
And we
period.
can't forget the ever awesome Living Dead.
Yeah.
Bangs. Alright.
Hugs.
Hug zombie. So the middle one is actually submitted by Val. Veteran. What? Bob.
Beaten. Baton. Darth Beaton.
Hi again. Oh my gosh. What's Bob suits? Bob it is. Alright, so their question, they submitted it through private back channels, meaning they PM'd me and went, Art! Critique! I need critique!
Is that what they sound like? Is that their voice?
That's what I imagine the conversation would have been like. Because this is how other humans talk, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure. We're just doing impressions here.
What would a French caveman sound like?
What are the questions to be asking? Art time.
Anyway,
Get to thinking.
and my questions are, well, I'm not happy anymore with what I'm doing anatomy-wise, and I've decided to change that. I would like to know if the proportions are correct, what looks off and stuff, and that's mostly it. So, previously to this, their art was more chibi. And now it's, they're growing into their body.
Sorry. They just said, Uncle Beckett.
I just saw it.
I'm so sorry. Back down.
You're a funny dude.
Alright, we are drawing that later.
So they used to do more chibi style, and this is them kind of bringing out more anatomy.
Yeah. Much like
Nice.
Gren was sort of chibi. You know,
Yeah.
large hooves, small portions.
Okay.
I like
Okay. Yeah. So honestly, usually I have issues with perfectly round faces that don't have cheekbones, but this kind of works for me. I can't explain it. It does. Sometimes there's always nothing wrong with adding cheek bumps
Yeah.
and keeping a perfectly cylindrical, well, it's not cylinder, but perfectly round face can lead to its own problems. But right now, I think it feels
Yeah.
good. It doesn't feel like it's perfectly round. It does feel like there's some. It's not just a circle, I
It
think.
feels like the angle and like the shape is still natural feeling.
Cylinder pony. Go!
I should have been sketching a larger color for the under sketch.
Place the eyes on the front.
Can you give them the baguette? That is what caveman pony looked like. You know how like humans had the really thick like skulls? Caveman pony were cylindrical. It's just
What is
That's
happening
cool.
in the stream already? I am so concerned.
But we've just lost it.
Yep, we've only just started and we've lost it.
There's the baguette.
It's
Good.
one of those days where like the silliness just comes like right out the gate. You open the gate and just like confetti.
So I think one of the problems I'm seeing right now is what Zai is highlighting. The front legs are very different length than the back legs. So what's going to happen is they're going to get that sort of drag racer look where their back is raised up a lot more than their front.
Yeah. Not only that, but her left shoulder was also a little bit too far in compared to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So don't forget they have a chest there. I know there's like no formal chest, but there's like a gap between the arms because the arms form on just the lower part of the side. If that makes any sense. Like if we go look at Apple Bloom over here, right beside us. There's a gap between the body or between the arms. We have to make sure to maintain that there is a gap there.
And I think something that's important to remember when drawing the thighs is that the thighs are connected to, like, they come out of back circle, right? They don't just kind of come out sideways. They come out as like a skin, like a slow, like if the only way I can think to
Words.
describe this is like gruesomely, where it's like if someone had a piece of ham and they sliced it halfway down, like a big hunk of ham, like a big roast, and they only cut halfway down. That's kind of how the legs are attached.
So I think with the wings, yeah, I mean,
A piece of ham.
I was trying to not like take a human and then like slice the flesh off.
So I think the wings either they just like wouldn't be visible from this angle, or you can just like fully pull them out just to show she is like fluffing the wings out a bit. Otherwise, they wouldn't really be visible from this angle, I don't think.
They roll around the body. Like the wings definitely pop out a bit.
It is true, but I think they if that is the case, they're currently higher up than the leg shoulders. I mean, you can just, if I just do it with this wing, you can. Oh no, I can't undo anymore. I think we share undo stages. You can sort of just pull them down a bit if that's what you want to do, but considering where the shoulders are, like it looks to me like you're trying to fluff the wings out. If that's not the case, you can let me know right now because you're actually here. But you can experiment with more wing poses and have them like come out like, oh, look at these pretty wings she's got in her little grumpiness. Be fluffing her wings out like indignantly.
I think that'd be a more appropriate pose for that look that she has on her face.
Yeah.
If I just pull this up, you can see what we're drawing. Ooh. I'm getting things. Oh.
You can also join us in voice chat if that's a thing.
Yeah. Also, I just remembered my friend Storm, who was in the chat last time, mentioned that she had art for us this week, so I'm just letting her know that the stream's on.
Nice.
I just need to get a invite to the Discord.
Discord.
No, flag.
But it's a classic.
I know, I love it. Oh.
All right. You got any other questions for this grumpy twy?
Grumple is purple and all of the land.
And I know it's definitely hard to switch up styles, but just keep letting yourself experiment. Don't need to hold yourself down to like a new consistency. Just try different things, push it different ways. Go too far, you can always come back.
Art is play. So play.
Mm-hmm.
Play, damn it. Have fun.
I hope you continue lovely arts.
Not really. Thanks for your input. And yeah, change of style is hard, but I think it's okay. Then let's move on to the left.
Beep, boop, bop.
So this is by Supermarine Spitfire. You might remember them from the previous 2 weeks where they've submitted the artist training ground pictures. So with 2019 NATG behind me, how much of an effect has it had on my drawing ability? That is their question.
Yeah, I kind of want to pull up the first one.
I can do it. Let me do. Open up their posts. Creep their stuff. Do. Oh, synopsis for spoilers.
Oh no.
No.
And they decided to put
spoils away.
spoils of war.
The war against spoils.
Alright. This is their first one. Just let me save it, upload it to this, and I'll stick it directly beneath this one.
Sounds wonderful.
I can tell you, their image size hasn't changed. These things are still hilariously large scanned pictures.
Is it nearly as bad as CPC?
6,000 by 4,000. Plus or
that's like what
minus.
I
My
use.
goodness.
That's like what I use on a regular basis.
You gotta save some pixels for the rest of us.
But I can tell the difference.
Alright. So here's the first one at the start of this, and here's their latest one. So the bottom's
Nice.
first.
I think, first of all, congratulations on completing the artist training gowns. I know you were one that we saw post pretty much for all the days. So, really awesome and good job. You pushed yourself. And I don't know about you, but I definitely see improvement, and I hope you see it in yourself too. 'Cause
Major
there
improvement.
is major improvement. Yeah.
Oh
can
yeah.
see-
Now looking at this.
Line quality improvements, proportion improvements. There's,
This one on the top is like the new.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's so much better. I can see where you've improved a lot. I just wanted to
I
say
can definitely
the,
tell you've been referencing more. Like, that's awesome.
the old one like looks like one of those like sausage dogs, which is adorable in its own way.
Alright, we're starting a Tumblr of sausage ponies.
That would actually be really like the hot dog princess in Adventure Time, but a pony.
Yeah, overall, just great steps towards improvement. I think you should just
Oh,
keep
go
going. Even though the artist training ground's over, I think you should keep up your schedule of drawing. Because this is your improvement over 30 days. See where 60 takes you.
Hmm. And you can always feel free to share your art in the Reddit or in our Discord. I don't know why I'm just randomly drawing over the ear. It's fine. Although it could pull it a little bit tighter here. Just to... So this is where the
Yeah.
ear sort of connects.
I think one of the big things you're gonna notice improving next is your muscle memory and kind of your line control. There definitely is improvement in that from day 1 to day 30, but I still do also see kind of those little patchy lines and strokes happening. And honestly, that is something that improves with time. You can't really rush that. It's just the more you work with drawing and the more you practice using your elbow and your shoulder and like practice making confident strokes, that will grow.
Yeah.
And there's exercise. I know if you Google like line dynamic exercises or go to Drawlbox, they have some exercise ideas for practicing those confident strokes when you get lining in. That kind of stuff. Like I said, it'll just be with time. And if you keep going, like Zamzam said, if you keep pushing yourself that schedule, we have a weekly challenge here. That on the Reddit that you can do. It's only weekly, but it's still something to help push things along if you don't have ideas. And you can also join our Discord, and there's draw-alongs that happen, or you can even start your own draw-along, which is essentially you pick a
20 minutes
topic.
of drawing with friends.
Yeah, essentially 30 minutes of drawing with friends. No one needs to complete anything. It's just you pick a topic, we draw 30 minutes, and we all see where we got in that 30 minutes and offer critique if you'd like, or get critique, or whatever,
Yeah, and you
whatever
don't have to
you
get
want.
critique if you're afraid of that. You won't be
Well,
getting
they're
it if you don't want
here,
it.
but
It's, I mean, sometimes people need a picture where it's just I just want to draw a picture, you know.
absolutely. That's why we have a rule of no critique unless asked for, unless it's specifically in the critique channel.
Yeah. I'm just going over some anatomy bits and everything. We'll pick all the stuff up that I'm doing now eventually. It's just a case of like looking at references and things. Just some like pointers with like scoots. I change how the sort of head shape works because typically you've got the temple, which is here, where it's like the top of the skull here. Well, not exactly, but yeah, roughly. Then it'll dip in where the eye socket is, and then back out again where the cheek is, if that makes any sense. And so I'm just sort of doing that with the others as well. Moved Applebee's nose a little bit inwards. And the eye. This eye could be a little bit shorter. Why did my color just? You just saw that I had light blue. It just changed to red all on its own.
Uh,
I was just switching colors with X, and it changed it. Anyway,
I blame your waifu.
yeah. No, don't do that. She's not to blame.
But she's
This-
back.
This eye should be a little bit thinner because like we are seeing this head at third quarter angle, which if you look at the sort of cross section of the head here, that's not very good. Definitely not perfect, but yeah. We're seeing the head sort of from the side, so this eye will be a lot bigger than this one. So just thin it out a little bit. They should still be equal up on the top and bottom, but just thinner this way. If that makes sense. And I just sort of changed where the ears are connected because you don't want them to. Because if you look at Scoot's ear here, in the original, it's like cutting into the eye. So you just want to make sure that there's enough gap for it to be like past the temple. You know, pull it back a little bit. You guys have anything specific you want to talk about?
No, not really. I think you covered the little bits there that were
Mm.
important, but otherwise.
Yeah, we don't want to overwhelm too much with too much stuff to think about at once. So it's best to just take a little bit of critique, go work on that, look at references and stuff, and just keep trying because you're making excellent progress already. It's just a case of allowing yourself more chances to draw and learn.
Yeah, and maybe now that you don't have the trading ground to like rush out art for, you can really take that time and put forth the critique you've gotten over there and really like dig
That's not
into
how it
it.
counts.
Spend time with it and try to like learn from it and not just like so a lot of the time we tell people to like take our critique and maybe focus on it and do some practice with it, and sure you can come back in a week and show us what's changed, but sometimes it takes a little more time just focusing on what you've just heard and taking it. And so maybe even go back to the other videos we've done for you and just listen to what we said in there and just really push that and take those into consideration now that you can be more thoughtful into the work instead of like rushing to get the timeline done. You can just be in the practice, just be with it, not any deadline.
Just turning Apple Bloom's hat into affairs. Ignore me. But yeah, I agree. You should totally come grow in the MLP's Discord.
But that's all. I think that's all for that one.
All right, and then let's move on to the next one. Dun, dun, dun.
It's Shark Week after all.
Is it really?
Oh,
Yeah.
this is spooky.
So Stamus returns. Tried the underlight I was advised to do. What do you think? Did we advise them? Was that us?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they were trying to do something that was creepier, and someone gave the advice of doing some underlighting, because that's really like the evil villain underlighting kind of effect, you know?
Ponytron.
Ooh, that's
That was
okay.
Ponytron. We're taking Ponytron's.
Wait,
It was
Here you
Ponytron
go.
5000 who made the suggestion.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
The underlighting's totally working. My suggestion, can we shut off the fade layer real quick?
Oh yes, 1 second.
Reduce the amount of area that it's being, or that you're doing with the catch lights, and increase the amount of contrast on the rest of it. Because right now you've actually well lit her, as though the lights like well past. Oh my gosh, pen, get over here! Like the lights well in front of her face. Get it right under that chin. Get that sharp and stark sort of underlighting.
Yeah, like I almost feel like the hair catches too much, because essentially with how much light you have in that top piece there, I put down my pen. Where are you? Like all the, where? There we go. All this up here, that's almost too much light because the hair is on the opposite side when you look at it. Basically, we'll only be getting the rim of the hair nicely lit, like maybe down here, just a little bit along these
Yeah.
edges. Because up here, if this was a box, I made like the hair a box. You know, there's a box. Basically, this would all be dark, these would be dark, and we'd get the light hitting the rim of the box there and there.
It definitely helps sort of help that like eerie feel.
This is one of the things that, if you ever get a chance, take a photography course, even like an online one, to go over lighting and how to set up lighting. Not as much as how to paint it onto your character, but when doing photography and video, there's a concept called painting with light, and it's
That's
actually
literally what
set.
photography means, though.
Yeah. Okay. It basically the idea is you're setting up the lighting to evoke in a certain emotion out of it, or to aid with the emotion that's happening in the scene, and there's a lot of what are they, standard lights that are used, like standard lighting positions, and just getting the fundamentals of those standard lighting positions can really help you build up your library for art. There you go. I think we linked the website on the last video, not to you though. Lighting simulator. There's a few of them. Which one was the one I liked? That one's creepy. This one. Zvork. I'll just try and remember to send it to you. It is zvork.fr. And if we take our light, we can place it in our scene. We can move it about, so we're going to go for a shallower angle on it. Yeah, there it is. So this shows you where the light is. It's currently above. We're going to keep moving it down, so we get it right down beneath the face. Thought we could move around move it in, move it down, and we go stare back at the face. Creepy! See? Gets real creepy when it moves in. But you can see, for anyone watching the stream, you can see how stark the contrast differences are. So like what's painted on the rim of the hair is very, it goes from quite a highlight to a very dark, same as on the nose and that. The only areas that are getting any sort of gradient contrast are around the eyes where it's a very shallow change. Things like that. Once again, that's zvork.fr. I hope that helps. Your character's still creepy as sin, and I definitely don't want to wake up to ever see this. For a multitude of reasons. Those teeth look like they're going to rip me to pieces. Second of all, it's a pony in real life that, you know, might have been on hallucinogens, if that happens.
Possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for this. You guys got anything?
No, I just kind of was doodling a brief little, like, demonstration of just how intense lighting can be.
Intense. Meta.
Just play around with it. But yeah, like directional light, really intense directional light, you'll have a lot more darker darks and lighter lights. But the lighter lights will be very specific and sharp. That's the thing with intense light. It's very sharp.
If you want to add to the level of this picture being creepy as sin, add just a little light, like a little color to it. Things like the irises being colored, makes the entire thing pop in a crazy sort of way.
Yeah.
Alright, that appears to be all the pictures we have. Anyone else have any art they'd like to have critiqued? Any other questions they'd like to ask?
I'm back.
Any other fluffies they'd like to announce that they're actually a waifu to?
Speaking
The
of
fluffy
that
harem's
person,
here.
they were supposed to. They said last time or a couple of days ago they had a picture they wanted to critique, but she has joined both Discord and Elgato and is not given art yet. It's John. Where your art?
Show me what you got.
If not, then we'll have to do it later, I guess. Might be busy doing other things. But first, we'll have to wait for that stream delay. Actually, she's not watching the stream anymore. Apparently, the name's disappeared. We still have 5 watches. That's great. It's more than my radio show usually gets.
That's because they aren't watching, they're listening.
True. That thing you're drawing with that looks really creepy, Alec.
Gotta make it creepy.
Serves the purpose. I guess that's it then. Excuse the people talking in the background too.
Any word back from them?
Nope. So I guess that's probably it then for now.
Alright. Well, thank y'all for coming, and, you know, if the person needs help, post in our critique channel. We'll give them a hand. Bye.
And remember, hug your plushies.
It's an important thing to do.
That's just always good advice.
Always.
And actually a law in the plushie voice.